Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to use Kabbalistic tarot cards to predict for you the sheep. You come from the sheep family for the month of February 2017. Let me give this a little bit of a shuffle, and the first card that I'm going to pull will have to do with your romance, marriage, and family areas. And this is the card that you have pulled, and it's facing me, which means that you are not fully in control of circumstances of romance, marriage, and family. Let's start with romance first. Well, firstly, it says that your romance is under stress. And I make this for the first 2 weeks of the month, 2 weeks or so. And it shows that past issues are cramping this romance and bringing despair and gloominess. There is a lot of changes expected of you. And if you can't make them, then there's going to be even more difficulties in the romance in the first 2 weeks. So you'll have to work very hard to keep your romance going well in the first 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks shows that there is an opportunity for you for romance, but there's also interferences. And the interferences are to do with financial areas. So some financial issue is also making the possibility of romance to bloom. So look into these areas. The whole month is not very steady for you. There are some signals here that romance can approach you in the first 2 weeks, but that is going to be risky. And if it approaches you in the last 2 weeks, then nurture it and be patient. Regarding marriage, the first 2 weeks are going to bring difficulties in your marriage area. It could be due to past issues, it could be due to arguments, it could be due to new unexpected difficulties. So you need to be very patient in your marriage area for the first 2 weeks as difficulties are seen. The second 2 weeks are a little better off. There is some plan for travel which makes everybody happy. There is some emotions which are now being understood, so that makes everybody happy as well. But there are also issues of finance in your marriage area that's putting stress on the marriage area. You have to take the soft approach. Otherwise, the situations can get worse for you in the month of February regarding your marriage area. General family areas. For this month, I would hope you don't allow your parents or your siblings to interfere into your marriage affairs or your romance affairs. Otherwise, that could be the reason why you may have difficulty in your romance and marriage areas in the month of February. The next card I'm going to pull is going to do with your career, business, or finances. And it's facing me again, so you don't have much control. Now, regarding your career, it says that the financial areas are not going to improve, firstly, in the first 2 weeks. It says that you are made to work harder with more chores or more responsibilities in the first 2 weeks. So that sort of news already brings depression upon you and makes the situation look very gloomy regarding your career area in the first 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the month are much better. They have a lot of calmness and they bring along, I won't call success, but they bring calmness and the ability to work on and not to panic. So the last 2 weeks shows that you have the possibility of help from your superiors or your bosses, and that you will be happier with your colleagues as well. So your career does improve in the last 2 weeks by about 30% or so. Regarding business, if you are in business, the first 2 weeks can bring about a lot of despair in the sense that bad news comes your way regarding contracts or the business people who promised you something not happening, or payments coming in expected but do not come in. So one way or another, the first 2 weeks put a lot of stress on you. And there can be misunderstandings, miscalculations, misinformation. So rather than panic in the first 2 weeks, we be very clear and move ahead or move back step by step. The last 2 weeks do improve by about 30%, and this shows that at least all is not lost for you in the area of business and that some progress can be made. Not much, about 25-30%, but at least things are moving ahead in the area of business. Your general financial areas will be feeling very panicky about finances in the first 2 weeks, but getting some measure of control in finances in the last 2 weeks. Now, if you are in business, you have to be very careful. This card says, don't take empty promises too much at heart, and tell yourself that in business areas, first 2 weeks difficulties, but last 2 weeks some solutions are coming for you as well. The third card which I'm going to pull for you is got to do with your health, and it's facing me. Here we see that your digestive areas are going to be put under pressure. That's one possibility of the month of February giving you trouble, the sheep. So digestive areas firstly. Secondly, it shows some danger of accidents are possible. And thirdly, if you are a woman, it's got to do with your gynae areas, and it's basically, the card shows me, it's towards the area of the breast. So look into these areas for the month of February, and if you have any symptoms of any kind, then go and check yourself out. So overall, first 2 weeks, very, very difficult in all areas of life. Second 2 weeks, about 30% improvement. So you need to be a bit cautious in the month of February for you, the sheep. Thank you. Goodbye.